I've shared a few hidden message mugs in Cricut Design Space. I thought I would quickly go over how I created the images. This rectangle represents my final wrap, so this is the final size of what gets cut on my Cricut in order to apply to my mug. And this is my sizing template for my text. So my text has to fit within this rectangle. It can be smaller, but it shouldn't be much bigger. I'm going to click on text, bring that over here. I'm going to type it out in capital letters. Now one of the things I want to do here is just add spaces between my lettering. I'm going to put 2 spaces between, like so. Now the reason I do this is because it makes it easier to create a pattern that doesn't look so much as text when you separate the letters. I could stick with the Cricut Sans, it would probably work, but the one that I used for the previous one was the Avshalom. There we go. So now I am going to reduce the size of it to the size of my template, so 3.25. So without unlocking the proportions, I'm reducing it to 3.25. Now I'm just going to go in quickly. I'm going to ungroup and I'm going to look at every single letter and make sure that they're the same height. So 0.324. I'm just working my way through the letters and just making sure that they're the same. See, this one isn't. I just want them all to be the same height. 0.324. I'm going to align bottom and then I'm going to combine and weld. And at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a copy and put it aside. And I'm going to place my design on my sizing template and I'm going to copy it a whole bunch of times. The first row of text is at the top and the last row of text is at the bottom of my template. I'm going to hide my template for now. I'm going to grab all of my text and do align left and then align distribute vertically. So what you're looking for here is for all your letters to overlap ever so slightly so that when you weld them together, they fuse together as one shape. If I do combine weld, it looks pretty good from here. Then if I change it to a different color, you'll notice they don't actually touch. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to copy my text another time, and then I'm going to select everything, do align left, align, and then distribute vertically. Better? Nope, still need more. So depending on the phrase that you use, you're going to have to tinker with this a little bit. And I recommend putting it in a lighter color because then you can really see the gaps between the letters. So if there are any cuts between the letters, it's far more noticeable in a lighter color than a darker color. And I'm going to take a closer look, and one of the things that's bothering me about this is that the E's exactly even. It creates this little jagged edge. And the problem with this jagged edge is A, it's not going to cut very well, and B, it kind of looks a little suspicious when you're looking at it as a pattern. So I'm going to create a long, narrow rectangle, put it right on the edge of the E. I'm going to do that for both E's. I'm going to weld these, and then I'm going to slice them. So that gets rid of that little jagged edge. You can still read it, it's still legible. Let's see how it looks as a pattern. I'm rotating my image by -90 degrees or 270 degrees, and so that's what it would look like as a pattern. You can certainly fuss with the U here and make it look more like a pattern. Add a line on the U. So the text is still legible, but when you rotate it, it looks a little bit more like a pattern. A couple of recommendations. If you're creating your own text, it's better to use several words rather than one continuous word, because you have these blank spots here that help create the effect of a pattern. Also, you may have to interchange some of the letters if they look too much like letters. There are certain letters that you just can't help it. Your mind obviously recognizes them as letters. So you may want to go into another font and replace any of the letters that you have here, something that may look less like a letter in another font. Once this is done, I'm going to put it on top of my final wrap. I'm going to do align center and then attach. So it's still legible as keep it fun, but then when you rotate it, it gives that effect of a little pattern. I hope that helps.